How you doing? And welcome to another horseshoe review. In this review, I'm going to be using the Comica mic. This Comica mic is SIG.LAV V05. That's a lavalier mic, and it has a mic gain, stepless mic gain. Tell me how you like it. I'll be using this mic for most of my videos here in horseshoe reviews. So when we come back, we will talk about the lasso. Welcome back, and let's get into it. So this shoe was loaned to me by Tony from a campground that I go to. He was definitely wanted these for his wife, and he asked me to review them. I wanted to know how they stacked up against everything else, so here we go. The lasso comes in two different weights. The first one is just the regular lasso. Comes in a 2-pound, 5-ounce weight, and it also comes in a lighter weight, which is the XL is stamped down here on the heel caulk, and the XL weighs in at 2. It states on the website. The ones that I will be reviewing here are the XLs. And the nice thing about this is a lot of manufacturers, what they do is they just increase the entire volume of the steel to increase the weight. But what the difference in the lasso is between the XL and the regular lasso is they actually increase just the thickness of the heel caulk, and they leave the rest of the shoe the same. The grip of the lasso and the grip of the lasso XL, that will all be the same, but there'll be more or less weight depending on which one you buy in the heel caulk. Talking about the heel caulk, it does have some pretty nice hooks, and the hooks actually look like they're formed to like a 1-inch, and they do sit pretty tight in there with no gap whatsoever, it looks like. So that was formed really nice, but I don't think it's going to be very powerful for the hooking power rating. They don't go all the way out and grab it like some of the other ones, like the Broncos and stuff like that, the old Broncos. Almost thinking that the Challengers are just a little bit better than this. Speaking of Challengers, the lasso is actually designed from a few things from the Challenger and also a few things from the Mustangs in their line. It does two things with the rounded edges. It helps fight fatigue and also callousing. So I really like that about when I shoot my Challengers. I really like that. I don't have any calluses or anything like that no matter how much I shoot. Well, we're here in Illinois with the cold weather, and we come off the winter break and we start shooting again. We don't have to, at least I don't, the way I hold mine, I don't have to callus up to start shooting good again. And some people actually wait for that first callus to know that they're ready to pitch and pitch long hours. So another difference between the Mustang and the lasso is the rounded gripping area. It does have a flat area here like the Challenger, but it also has a rounded edge like a Mustang. I think it took both of those. It's not completely rounded. It does have a flat area, which I really like, and it's just enough for my hand to sit in, and the rounded edges doesn't really come into play when I hold this. So it's almost, I mean, it's really, really close to me pitching a Challenger. The way it feels, the rounded edges, and also the minimal toe cleat. Just looking at it, I'd venture to say if this is a 1/4 inch thick shoe, then this is only about a 1/4 inch off that shoe, giving it a full width at the toe caulk of a 1/2 inch, which is almost right on the money. So the thickness of the shoe is a 1/4 inch, and then the height of the toe caulk is a 1/4 inch, and I'm sure that would be the same for this, the heel caulk. It's just a little over 1/2 inch. For this shoe to have the best of both worlds, the Challengers and the Mustangs, it actually tells me two things. It's going to flip good and it's going to turn good. So just before even going out, I have high expectations that this shoe will do good in both turning and flipping. We will see where it goes from there. The next thing is it's got long blades, and going into that rounded edge is not too pronounced, and it doesn't have a finger notch, so I like that. It's just smooth all around. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do my normal hammer grip for my turn shoe, and I'll see if that works right away and see if I have to adjust up or down depending on how fast this spins. So I did talk about the heel caulks, and they are symmetrical. The thickness is the same on both sides, so if you do hold your toe caulk down, or you hold your toe caulk up and use your thumb to flip it, you have best of both worlds, and it's gonna flip the same speed whether up or down. And like with all thoroughbred horseshoes, their main color is red and blue. So now that we got the basics out of the way, let's go ahead and start checking the HPR and the QBR. First we'll start with the QBR, Qukslvr balance rating. And I did mark this one already. I do have, once again, if you guys are just watching this for the first time, what I do is I get the total measurement for the total height of the shoe and divide by 2 and mark my center point distance wise for that. And then I go ahead and I set this on my balance beam. Okay, and then I just move it towards the center. Back it off a little bit until she balances. And she almost balances perfectly balanced, but there is a little bit. It's about 1 millimeter off center. And it's on this side of the lines, which means that the toe is heavier. That means it's a +1 on the HPR. Right. So that's not too bad. That sort of gives you an idea of where that's going to flip for you and how you're going to be able to control that shoe compared to some of the other ones that I've done in the past. We're going to go ahead and do the hooking power rating. And you can see up here what I was talking about with the depth again, how far this sinks into the stake and grabs it, which is, it's contoured very nicely. But then we're going to go ahead and take the tape measure and touch it to the hook and then bring it into touching the stake, and then where it meets up here will determine the power rating. And this is a 5.5, which is 5.5 inches where it meets, and we only have a scale of 5 on our power rating, so this would actually be a -5 on that scale. So a -0.5, which is, a lot of the shoes are coming in at a close to 0, and I'll put the list up here again so you guys can see compared to the Lasso and all the other, where the hook and power rating is compared to those. But it's almost right around +0.5, 0 to -0.5 is somewhat of the standard. So if you get anything greater than that, that's incredible hooks. Next thing we'll do is we'll get the actual true weight of what these are shipped. Go ahead and zero that out. Place these on here, make sure they're only touching the scale. And these actually come in at 2.1. They say on the website 2, but just on my scale, I'll go ahead and zero it out. Just double check it. But yes, it comes in at a 2.1. Just for make sure nothing's touching. Also comes to 2.1, obviously. So that is my review of the Lasso inside. And now we'll go outside and we'll go ahead and throw some. I'll throw some slow motions and you can see how it reacts. Follow me outside and let's go take a look. Okay, here are the Lassos. And we're going to try flipping them first. And we'll do it in slow motion. there's less weight, so there's a little less momentum pulling your arm down and keeping it straight. So a lighter shoe gets your elbow loose a little bit easier. So a little tougher to pitch, but doing it. All right, I did put a 6-pack on. Um, it just does feel a little loose because they're so light, um, but definitely controllable. And the weight's easy to get used to, so they're not so bad, not as bad as you think. I think these are right around the same as the horseshoes, safehorseshoes.com pitching horseshoes, the rubber ones. So I'm sort of cheating because I'm sort of used to those too, and I'm used to dialing my swing down a little bit for different weight shoes. So now we're going to go ahead and do the turn shoe, see if these things can turn. Never done it with a light shoe like this, so we'll see. Right out of the gate, first two shoes turned pretty well. So the distance wasn't all that bad, but they did turn open. I'm going to end on a 6-pack. So there you go. I'm going to try one more thing with these actually. I do like them. They are, like I said, they're thin and they're light, but just throw them normal, and they're weighted really good, and they flip and turn with very minimal changes to your swing. So definitely for the 30 footers that don't like the mediums or heavies, these are definitely a way to go. So lassos. And last thing I decided I wanted to do was get another shoe. And I don't want that thing to move. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get over that and try and lock them down in behind them and see how much these things bang around. Little bad adjustment on that one, but you can see in slow motion that locked in pretty good behind there. Try again. All right, so that's easily a ringer, and the hooks did their job. Hope you guys like those 4 shoes, actually probably 2 shoes in slow motion, and with having that blocker in there, I thought the lassos would sort of like bounce off of them because they're so light. They didn't. They held their ground and stayed on for ringers. So definitely, like I said, if you're a younger pitcher, an older pitcher that doesn't like the heavier shoes, this is definitely a great shoe to go buy. And check it out. Thanks a lot. Just got done finished outside, and I'm really excited about these shoes, the way they performed. They performed really well. It didn't seem like I had a 2-pound shoe in my hand. It was really weird. A couple of throws you saw, I hit the backboard. Maybe it's just because I've thrown enough shoes, all different weights. The safehorseshoes.com set that I have, those are the rubber horseshoes. Those come in at 1 pound, 9 ounces. So those are even lighter. So maybe me knowing how to throw those, and I just corresponded that mentality to these shoes, was easy to come down from throwing a Challenger, which is 210, 209. Controlling these wasn't that hard for me. They felt really good in my hand. It's not like I had to find, from my flip, I held it normal. And like I told you, I was going to tell you what I did once I threw them and came back in, what I did with my grip was I held it up into this area a little bit more to slow them down a little bit. They are a light shoe, and they were turning a bit fast and out of control a little bit. But once I moved my grip up a little bit, they started slowing down, and I was able to control them a lot easier. And you see in the videos that when I said, okay, now I'm going to throw a 6-pack, that was me saying I'm done messing around with trying to find something. I think I found the grip I need. Now let's put all my concentration in and concentrate on getting that 6-pack. And once I found that and concentrated, they went right on. That's what you want from a shoe. When you're warming up, it's a different feel from saying, okay, now I'm serious. Now I'm going to put it all together and put them on. And once I said that to myself, these shoes did their job. So I'm very happy with them. I give them very high marks. For a light shoe like this, being 2 pounds, it's sort of odd that you just walk right out and just start throwing ringers with them. Consistent 1 flip, consistent 40 for the most part. Even my turn shoes, even when I was having problems with them opening, my shoes were still pretty much 40 feet. So it's sort of like weird. It's maybe a testament to these shoes. So if you have a chance to throw these, or if you have older ladies or gentlemen that can't throw the 2.5 pound shoe anymore, the Lasso at 2 pounds 5 ounces is a good choice. And even better choice would be a Lasso XL 2 pounds 0 ounces. And also juniors or cadets that need to throw a lighter shoe. These are, in my eyes, really, really good shoes to throw for the elderly and the younger group. Or if you just want a lighter shoe, plain and simple, for league purposes that anybody can use, from youth all the way up to the elderly. This will span the gap and provide a good shoe for everybody. So thanks for watching, and keep pitching.